Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's product management event. We're with CircuitStream and University of Toronto. We are going to kick off the event in just a few minutes here, but before I do, I always just like to make sure that everybody can see me okay, everybody can hear me okay. Keep this one big here. So yeah, just make sure everyone can see me okay and hear me okay. You can use the chat log in the bottom right corner there. If you have, I saw some thumbs up come through there too. So it looks like perfect. There we go. Awesome. So the chat log's bottom right corner, there's also a questions tab down there. I promise we're not going to fully ignore your questions for the whole presentation, but we do purposefully not answer them throughout the presentation portion because we're kind of holding off for the Q&A at the end. So if you put some questions in there, if you have any questions for myself, for the today's guest speaker, for our career services person, whoever it may be, feel free to put them into the questions tab. And then at the end of the session, we'll loop back and we'll put them up kind of on the screen and answer them one by one with everyone. You can also utilize the chat log or the chat function in the bottom right corner to connect with us and to connect with each other throughout the presentation as well. There's also a polls tab down there. I did drop a couple polls in advance, so feel free to interact with those and fill those out throughout the presentation. And then lastly, you can see the people tab there, just kind of showing you who else is in the room. One thing I would like to say is that this full presentation will be recorded and it will be sent out to everyone after the event. So if you want to take notes, if you want to take screenshots, if you want to do anything like that, you're absolutely welcome to, but you're also welcome to just kind of sit back and relax and take in the information, and then you'll get a copy of the full presentation recording afterwards. So I am going to put a link in the chat really quick before we kick this off as well. This is the link to our product management bootcamp course through University of Toronto. If anyone would like to request a copy of the syllabus, if you didn't get a chance to look at any of the course information in advance, feel free to click the link now. You can request the syllabus, and I believe it just gets emailed out to your inbox the same way that the recording of this event would be. And so I also like to invite everyone to share where they are joining us from. I'm personally from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Well, that's where I live now. Originally, I'm from Niagara Falls, Ontario. But I've been out this way for a little while. So feel free to share in the chat where everyone is joining us from today. And I will get the presentation queued up at the same time here. There we go. Toronto, Oshawa, Toronto, Waterloo, Toronto, Peru. Amazing. Amazing. Welcome, everybody. As somebody from Ontario originally, welcome, everyone. I'm going to be going back that way in the next couple of months to go visit some friends and family. So I'm excited to get back out there. So without further ado, let me actually get the presentation started here. I can put this guy up here on the screen. More Toronto. Amazing. Well, thank you, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation. I'll kick it off here by introducing myself. So my name is Tyler. I'm the marketing events manager at CircuitStream. I've been with the company for, I guess, almost 3 years now. Going into the beginning of this summer will be 3 years, which is crazy. Sometimes it feels like I've been here for my whole life, and sometimes it feels like I've been here for like a week. So it's just, just the way it goes. But before this, I worked in travel and tourism for about 10 plus years. I always kind of refer to that as my pre-COVID life. But yeah, I've been with this company for now just about 3 years. So we will also have Amy Rue, Associate Product Manager at LinkedIn, joining us on stage today. She's going to share her story, information about her current role at LinkedIn, and her tips and advice for new product managers. Before I invite her up, though, I'm going to kick off the presentation with a little bit of an overview of who we are at CircuitStream. So CircuitStream began in 2015 through a network of developers, designers, and creators, and is now a leading provider of technology learning in different spaces like AR, VR, game development and design, product management, and software development. We partner with industry-leading companies and leading educational institutions to offer courses and training to those looking to learn more about these emerging technologies. So again, this full presentation will be sent out to everyone after the fact. So, but this is just showing a screenshot of some of our partners up on the screen here. So why launch a career in product management? Product manager is an interdisciplinary position that collaborates different departments within an organization to guarantee the success of a new product. Product managers have a dynamic and fulfilling career with opportunities to shape innovative products and have a measurable impact on a company's success. On screen right now, you can see some of the top reasons why people would choose to work as product managers. Acquiring product management skills in Canada positions individuals to excel in a variety of industries and contribute to economic growth. With a rapidly growing technology sector and thriving startup ecosystem in cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Waterloo, product managers play a vital role in driving innovation and ensuring companies deliver products that meet market needs. According to LinkedIn, which is where our speaker is from today, which is fun, in Ontario alone, there are currently over 700 job postings for product management positions, which is crazy. There are many different job titles that product managers are hired for. This would be including product managers, of course, but also product strategists, growth product managers, and product marketers. The average salary for a product manager in a role in Canada is currently $109,000, according to Glassdoor 2023 stats. Now, about our specific course here, our hands-on 21-week product management bootcamp is both online and project-based. Saying product and then project right afterwards is always a mouthful. It has 5 hours of class per week, 2.5 hours of technical biweekly career labs, and 10 hours of independent study. There are weekly assignments, in-class challenges, portfolio projects, and students complete a capstone project at the end of the bootcamp. The bootcamp is designed for those interested in learning the essential practices of product management, from strategic planning and feature development to agile execution. The program's comprehensive curriculum is designed to provide a full spectrum of understanding of the product's life cycle, ensuring that you're adept in guiding products from their initial conception all the way to their market dominance. Product management is a great career opportunity with lots of growth potential. This is why we've collaborated with the University of Toronto School of Continuing Studies to offer this hands-on 21-week bootcamp that will take you all the way from a beginner to launching a career in product. So again, this just in case anyone else joined in after, this full presentation will be recorded and sent out to everyone. So if you missed the first few slides here, or if you're just looking at any of the stats on the current slides, it's going to be sent out to your email inbox in a recorded format afterwards. So don't worry about taking down notes, but you're certainly welcome to. Now to meet our instructor. Dennis started his professional journey as an associate product manager at Riedel and later joined Grammarly as product manager in 2019. He leads and manages Grammarly's design system and accessibility as a product. His role involves shaping the vision, strategizing the roadmap, and guiding his team through day-to-day tasks like aligning goals, setting priorities, and managing dependencies. We are very excited to have Dennis as the lead instructor for our product management bootcamp. So he's not here with us today. We are looking to put together an additional session eventually with maybe Ask Me Anything with our instructor, so we can kind of do that as well. But that is who our instructor will be for this course. So just happy to share that information with everyone. Now for the course outcomes, our bootcamp graduates emerge with comprehensive skill sets that prepare them for success. Through in-depth modules like product management foundations, students gain a solid understanding. Flip the slide on everyone. Students gain a solid understanding of the roles and responsibilities, how they navigate product development stages, and how they use data to inform strategic decisions. Graduates are also educated on market insights and product strategy, feature ideation development, agile execution and team dynamics, product positioning and growth, data mastery and decision making, and career development. Again, it's all shown on the screen here. Students complete this course with a product manager certification. And you can see the certification on the screen here with the U of T School of Continuing Studies on it as well. Speaking of career development, I would now like to invite CircuitStream's Outcome Manager, Wanai, on stage to share a bit more information on the career development and support offered through our bootcamp. So welcome, Wanai.
Thanks, Tyler. So all of our bootcamps come with career support and guidance. The CircuitStream Career Labs teach students how to leverage technical and behavioral strengths, gain awareness of the digital ecosystem, create compelling portfolios, elevate digital presence, learn how to network effectively, and become interview ready for industry jobs. Our career and networking support really sets our programs apart from others that you may find. Every student has different objectives coming in, but for those that are looking for new jobs or to improve their current positions, find this aspect of the course to be incredibly helpful. As part of the career support, our bootcamps also come with a student pitch day, which happens towards the end of the program. Students have the opportunity to showcase their capstone projects to hiring and industry partners. This event is an amazing way to add people to your network, be considered for any job openings they may have, or to just receive feedback on your projects from hiring managers working in the industry.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you so much, Wanai. Just a little bit of information on the career support side. If anybody has any questions for Wanai, you can interact with her in the chat there. Feel free to just pop them in there, or you can put them in the questions tab. And at the end of the session, we can answer those too. Even if Wanai is not, she probably will still be here, but I can do my best to answer on her behalf at that time too. So, but thank you so much, Wanai. And I am going to go ahead and invite our guest speaker up on stage for today as well. Amy is Associate Product Manager at LinkedIn by day, working on the Pages Experience team. She's also a career content blogger by night, posting information on how to land your dream job, and once you're there, how to survive. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Amy up on stage. Hi, Amy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amy. Sorry about the blonde picture. That's a bit outdated. I actually have dark hair now, but it's very nice to meet all of you guys.
Amazing, amazing. Well, what I'll do here, Amy, is I'll step off stage. I'll let you share your information, but just give me a heads up when you're done. I'll pop back up on stage. I'm going to share a little bit more details about the course, and then Amy and myself will do some audience Q&A with everyone. So if you guys have questions for Amy throughout the presentation, put them in the questions tab. Even afterwards, throw them in there, and we'll loop back for those at the end. So, all right, I'll hop off here. Thanks, Amy.
Awesome. Sounds good. I'm going to take 1 second to share my screen. Okay, cool. Looks like it's showing. So hey everyone, I'm Amy. Very nice to meet all you guys. Thank you for coming. I grew up in Los Angeles. I'm currently working out of San Francisco. So we're in the West Coast time zone today, but it's really exciting to meet a lot of you guys from Toronto. I'm currently an associate product manager at LinkedIn, and today I'm going to be walking over a quick agenda. Before that, I wanted to cover sort of some teams that I worked up at LinkedIn. I know that Tyler gave a really good overview of what product management is, but being a product manager is a pretty hot role right now. In fact, it's actually listed by Indeed as one of the best jobs of 2023. It's the perfect blend of technical knowledge, creative design, and business acumen. And I think the best part is sort of the amount of influence you have, and you can build really cool products without needing to have a CS degree or a coding experience. While I've been at LinkedIn, I've worked on several teams, including Feed AI, where I was working on content classifiers on LinkedIn. Fun fact, I actually brought memes to LinkedIn, which was really funny. I worked on company pages, as Tyler mentioned. And right now, as of today, I work on the ads measurement team, where we work on making sure our advertisers on LinkedIn get their highest value ROI. So today's agenda, I'm just going to touch over a couple of things. 1, share my career journey. 2, talk a little bit more about LinkedIn's APM program. 3, sort of go over the day in the life of a PM. And then last but not least, sort of cover a little bit of tips and tricks for breaking into product management. So my career journey, sort of going from a non-technical background to building really cool Gen AI stuff at the world's most valuable company. We're under Microsoft today. It's sort of coined as the world's most valuable company. So that's the little tagline I like to attribute. But basically, when I went to college, I was a business major. I had fully intended into going into consulting because that's what the cool kids did back when I was in college. And I had a lot of friends who attended hackathons and were building their own projects. I was really curious, so I showed up to one. I sort of watched a bunch of YouTube videos, taught myself how to code, threw together a really scrappy website last minute, and I actually won something, which was an internship at a startup, which was really cool for me. They offered me like a software engineering internship, and then I told them I'm actually a business major and wondering if you have any sales or marketing internships available. And I remember the recruiter saying, "Oh, you're a business major, but you know how to code. Why don't you just check out product management?" And at the time, I was like, product management sounds like one of those roles where you walk down the aisle of Home Depot and check off if you have like inventory on traffic cones. And so I was like, oh, I don't know why I would do this job. But I did do a product management internship at that startup, realized I loved the nature of the work, and then did a couple of internships at some tech companies afterwards, such as Amazon, Salesforce, and eventually LinkedIn, as well as a couple of VC firms. I dabbled a bit in, I don't know if any of you guys know Ripple Ventures. It's actually based out of Toronto, but there as well. Then I filtered into the APM rotational program at LinkedIn, where we have several rotations for incoming product managers to choose from before they commit to their full-time team. And today I lead the APM recruitment, placement, and onboarding committee at LinkedIn. So obviously, since I'm from LinkedIn, wanted to share a little bit about our APM program. If you're curious, I have the link to the website on the deck. So if you go to careers.linkedin.com/APM, you can find out a lot more information about the program than I'm currently sharing on my slide. But this program consists of 2-year-long rotations where you are going to be on 2 completely different teams. It could be anything ranging from like ads to premium to jobs to search. And you're going to be put on very high impact work. A lot of managers there's like 50 managers who are fighting for APMs to get on their team. And there's always like only like 13 or 14 APMs. And so guaranteed, like you'll be given the best teams to work on at the company. You'll come in with a very strong support system, including managers, mentors, a whole APM focused program team to make sure that your experience is really good, and also a cohort of APMs as your support system, which I think is the best part. We take mentorship very seriously at LinkedIn. Not only do you have your in-team mentor, you also have like an APM mentor, and then you have an out-of-team mentor too, to ask questions that you're not comfortable maybe asking anybody on your current team. So you will be very well supported. And then after 2 years, you have the opportunity to stay on any one of your rotations or choose a different team if you want to try something different. LinkedIn, we have 4 lines of business. The first is Flagship Experience, which is sort of our core product. This contains things you'll see when you log into the app, like feed, profile, search, conversations. We also take trust very seriously. We are the #1 trusted social media company out there, and so that is definitely a very important pillar for us. We also have our growth pillar, which focuses on premium monetization, international segments, as well as some cool venture bet moonshot ideas we're always testing out. Talent Solutions is also one of our core products. Most of you guys probably go on LinkedIn to get a job. And so, recruiter, job seekers, LinkedIn Learning, all part of that pillar. And last but not least, the one that I work on today is Marketing Solutions. That contains all of the ad platforms on LinkedIn, our business platform where you would store like payment information, billing, invoicing, a lot of that stuff. And also Sales Navigator, which is our product for salespeople on LinkedIn. Sort of giving you guys a look of what my daily schedule looks like as a product manager. Usually in the mornings, I'll have an engineering stand-up. This will last around 30 minutes, and then I'll go into a design jam where I review sort of designs for features that we want to ship. At 11 a.m., I'll usually have like a customer interview cycle that I'm doing. If I'm working on a consumer-facing product, you'll probably interact with a lot of customers and interview them to make sure the features you're shipping are actually solving for their pain points. In the afternoon, sometimes I'll meet with either legal or finance to do a compliance review or make sure we're hitting our sort of business targets for the year. 2 p.m., I'll usually have like a one-on-one meeting either with my manager, my mentor, my engineering manager, or another cross-functional stakeholder. In the afternoons, we also sometimes bug bash our new features that we're shipping just to make sure they're bug-free for users on LinkedIn. And then at around 5 p.m., my meetings do end for the day. Unfortunately, I have to do some documentation work like writing strategy docs or writing product requirement docs. And so my day doesn't end there. 5 to 6, 5 to 7, I'm usually writing docs then. I know a lot of people think like the work sort of life is a 9 to 5. That's not necessarily the case for product management. It is pretty intense. But it is a very rewarding career path. And so you get to work with a bunch of different cross-functional stakeholders. Also, not every single day looks like this. Some days you'll have a lot of meetings. Some days you'll just have one stand-up in the morning, and then you'll have a whole free afternoon work on your strategy docs. And so I think time management is a skill that you'll pick up a lot when you start in this line of work. Sort of my time allocation with the different cross-functional partners I work with, I have this listed on a graph of we connect occasionally to they see me more than they see their family, which unfortunately is true for a lot of people in tech. So the engineers and the designing team that I work with, I probably see them the most often every day. We have syncs. And then finance is also very core in terms of, their job is to make sure we're making money for the company. And then marketing, sales, legal, XR, sometimes occasionally I'll catch up with them just to see if we have any interesting customer testimonies, any cool marketing launch plans, or if we have issues with legal, usually they'll come and flag them for our product. Last but not least, tips and tricks for breaking into product. Product management is one of the most competitive jobs in tech, and I think part of it is because this job is so attractive and that you get to do a little bit of everything. I realize it's going to be impossible for me to provide full coverage for best tips and tricks, so I did my best TLDR for the next couple of slides, but obviously if you guys have more questions at the end, the Q&A is a perfect opportunity for you guys to ask questions that you really want to know the answers of, and I will do my best to answer them. Giving you a demographical breakdown of LinkedIn's current APM program, we are 15% industry hires, 50% internal transfers, meaning they transfer from another role such as business analyst, product analyst, finance, engineering into product. 23% are MBA grads from business school, and then 46% are undergrads. So at least for the associate product manager program, a huge part of the funnel is a lot of people coming in straight from college. And I think this program is perfect because even though it might be a lot of people's first job out of college, we provide you with enough support to make sure you are ramping up properly. In terms of major, we have 46% computer science, 39% tech business management. I say this is because these are business majors with technical experience. So either their concentration is in something technical like information systems, or they went to college for like a technological management degree. And then the last 15% is a mixture of some other engineering major, usually like mechanical engineering. We've had like chemical engineering. So a bunch of like different engineering majors. The point, and I think why PM recruits very heavily from engineering, is because you have experience building things. And that's a lot of like the nature of this role, is just you're designing and building products for people to use. So 2 things I wanted to point out that every product manager's portfolio has is 1, technical projects. I went to college as a business major. It doesn't matter if your major is not technical, you want to supplement your resume with a lot of technical projects. How you can do that is you don't have to land a technical internship as a software engineer. You can start today by building your own personal website. You can build your own app on the iOS store or the Android store. You can attend a hackathon and see, if there are any cool prizes that you want to win or companies you want to intern for. Usually hackathons are a really great funnel for sort of building passion projects and also talking to sponsors who are usually from companies that are recruiting. HackerNoon.com is a great site for tutorials for building any technical project. I used to go on their site and take my first beginner projects off of there. And so I think that's a great resource. And then also product improvement ideas in your head. That's another product manager essential. When you do interviews for product management, the 3 most common design-oriented questions you'll receive are 1, what's your favorite technical product? Or what's your favorite non-software product? Or what's your favorite product in general? You'll get like a variation of these types of questions, and they want you to be able to speak to like the strengths and weaknesses of a product. Second is, how would you improve X feature? This could be anything like, how would you improve Google Calendar? Or like, how would you improve like a swimming pool? Like something very vague so that you can sort of single out things that you want to improve within a certain product, and it really points to your product thinking. And then the last prompt is usually something like design an object for X user. So it would be something like design an alarm clock for a blind person, or design a party planner for the elderly, or design Facebook for dogs. Anything sort of kind of mix and matching things that don't exist today for specific users to fill their pain points. A really great website is the pminterview.com. This is a site, if you go onto it, it generates a new PM interview question every single time. You'll never run out. There's like a million in there. And so for me, that was a really good trick. Like once a day, I would just log onto the site and get a question and think about how I would solve something. And it's not like super intensive. You just do a question once a day, and it really gets you into the right mindset. 3 mottos to live by. 1, I would say, don't be picky about opportunities. My first internship ever was not a super sexy like software engineering or product management internship. I offered to do like business analytics, sales, copywriting, website building for anyone who is offering to write me a recommendation, and offer your services for free. Set up a system where your client only pays if they're really happy with the results. Eventually, you can switch into product from another field, and you don't have to do it through an APM program since it is a pretty competitive pipeline. The second one is be known as the blank person. So I think if I were to just ask you to describe your best friend, you could easily come up with 3 adjectives to describe them. In college, I was known as the PM girl. I was always like posting about new products in tech, pitching at startup competitions, and demoing at hackathons. So when PM opportunities came up, who do you think was the first person everyone thought of, right? Like it was me, because just how like I was the PM girl, there was also like a startup guy, a personal finance girl, or the guy who gets absolutely hammered at like every party. I think you can build your brand and your reputation and sort of set yourself to get lucky for opportunities. And the last one is consistency trumps talent. No one starts out by being a perfect PM. In fact, I think when I was prepping for PM interviews, I sucked at being a PM. Today, I suck less because I practice being a product manager over and over for more than 8 hours every single day. And I think the logic goes like, if you take the SAT or whatever standardized test you have 13 times, it's kind of hard to score lower than 50%. Once you mock PM interviews 3 times a week for 8 months, you can start spitballing feature revisions with your brain basically running on autopilot. And so I feel like the best way to prepare for this sort of a job is to find a mock interview buddy. And you guys can both practice until you start acing these interviews. You guys both know you want to land roles as product managers. And yeah, I don't know, you guys have the chat functionality right now, but you could actually do this and just drop your name and contact info in the chat and find somebody else here who needs like a prep buddy. I found a bunch on a couple of like Slack channels I was involved in. And it ended up being really cool because after we prepped for interviews together, we landed jobs as product managers together. And a lot of these interview prep partners today, I still meet up for lunch with and grab coffee with. And so it's kind of fun having people along for the journey. A list of resources that I used when I was recruiting for product management roles are Product School, this website called I Got an Offer, Louis C. Lynn's interview prep Slack channel. This guy was a previous PM at like a lot of big companies like Google, Facebook, and he has a Slack channel today to match people up for interview prep. Exponent is also super useful. And then there's a site called apmlist.com that consistently posts new role openings for product management positions, ranging from internships to full-time job offers. And yeah, that's sort of an overview. Thank you guys for listening. I post a lot about PM stuff on my LinkedIn as well as my Medium. I write a bunch of articles about breaking into product management. When I was interviewing for PM, I interviewed for all of the big tech companies' APM programs. So I interviewed with like Google, Facebook, Uber, Salesforce, LinkedIn, and I wrote down all of my experiences going through those interviews with these companies. So I pretty much break everything down of like what the interview is going to look like. I think a lot of people found that really helpful. So yeah, check out some of the stuff. And if you have any questions afterwards, you can always message me on LinkedIn. I use it a lot since I work there. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oops, I joined the stage and turned my camera off. Oh, amazing, amazing. Well, thank you so much, Amy. That was amazing, as I knew it would be. And I'm sure we're gonna have a bunch of questions for you to go over here at the end, but I might just, I'll boot you off stage real quick. I'm gonna share a little bit of information about the upcoming cohort details for this course, and then we'll go through some Q&A together as a group here. So let me just get my presentation back up. There we go. All right. So, like I said, before we get into the questions, I'm just going to share a little bit of information. I'll start with the course pricing and upcoming cohort date information, if that's okay with everyone. Let me just get this here. So yeah, so I'll start with the bootcamp pricing information. So the full price of this bootcamp that's available through UFT is $10,500. Students, of course, can pay for the courses up front if they want, but we do also have payment plans available for 6, 12, and 24-month periods. We do also have an event registrant promotion available with 10% off of the bootcamp price. So just to show you the two different price points there, I put the regular price up top and then the event registrant discounted price a little bit below. This would be available until March 8th or until the course seats are filled. And I do believe the spots are starting to become a little bit more limited now. So this promotion is also available through the monthly payment plans that I mentioned there. So if anybody has any questions about the pricing or about anything on that side, just reach out to us and let us know. I'm going to share some contact details, how you can get a hold of us in just a moment as well. Oh, and again, this whole presentation is recorded. So if you guys want to go back and reference any of the pricing details or anything, that'll be included in the presentation recording that you get there. All of our cohorts typically run several times a year. The upcoming cohort will run from April 9th through August 29th. And the following one, I don't think we have the specific dates confirmed yet. We may, I have to talk to the education team, but it's looking like it's going to run from September 2024 straight through to May 2025. So stay tuned for those dates. And if you have any questions, this is where I said I'll share the contact information. So I'll leave this up here for a minute. The 1-800 number here is the easy way to get a hold of our team. Also, the admissions@circuitstream.com email is a great way. You can just email out directly with any questions and our admissions team will reach back out to you. If you want to take a look at the product management bootcamp information, if you want to request a syllabus, if you're looking to enroll in the course, just use that QR code that's on the screen here. And again, this will be included in the recorded presentation. So, but this code should take you right to the course page. You can request a syllabus, you can sign up for enrollment, you can, just look over the course details, whatever the case may be. But yeah, use the top two sources there. If you do have any questions for our team here, we're happy to connect. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I wanted to share some quick information on how you can reach back out to us and how you can get a hold of us here. But without further ado, then I'll invite Amy to pop back up on the stage with me here, and we can do a little bit of Q&A together. So I'll close this off because we don't need that up there anymore. Amazing. So yeah, if anybody has any additional questions, feel free to throw them in the chat now. Sometimes we get a couple, sometimes we get hundreds. It's all just depends on how chatty people are being that day. But I will put up the first one here that I can see. How can you describe the typical learning experience for students in the bootcamp and share any success stories or testimonials from past students who have completed the bootcamp? Also, are there alumni network or community that students can connect with for networking and mentorship opportunities? So yes, and yes, and yes. Basically, this bootcamp through UFT is one of our newer bootcamps. The easiest way to kind of show you guys the success stories and testimonials would probably be through our other boot camps that have been running through the university for the last couple of years. We'll have more data, obviously, on this specific boot camp after it's been running for a couple of years as well. But this one's just a newer one. So I actually, you know what? I probably got a stat here. Let me just see if I can pull this up on my side. I think we had the placement rate stat or something along those lines from... yeah, that's what it was. Sorry, I just wanted to pull this up. So from the game development and design boot camps that we run through UFT for last year, 92% of our career seeking students found career opportunities after taking the course. So just to give you a quick stat, we've got more details there on that stuff too, but just wanted to give you something tangible from one of our previous or one of our other boot camps that we're running through the universities. And then in terms of the network, we do have amazing network opportunities. So basically, when you sign up for any of our courses or you become one of our students through CircuitStream, you get access to premium support with lead instructors for further technical mentorship and a dedicated career coach when I was on screen kind of sharing a little bit on the career side earlier as well. So if you have any more questions about that stuff, just reach out to the team. Hopefully I'm giving you a valid enough answer here, but let me know if you have any further questions there on that. Okay, this one's probably more for you, Amy. How to transition from sales strategist to product management. Oh, of course, then it goes into the course. How will the course help me make this transition? And how can I leverage my past experience of sales strategist to product manager role? So I mean, the easiest way to do this would be to take a look at the course syllabus just to see if it's hitting on the areas. The course itself does tackle some pretty advanced concepts, but it starts completely beginner friendly. So if you're coming in from a different industry, or if you're looking at switching into a role like this, boot camps are usually a pretty cool way to do that, to kind of fast track you through. So take a look at the course website. At that QR code I shared a minute ago, just request the syllabus, take a good look through that, see if it's kind of what you were intending or what you were hoping to learn. And then in terms of going from one role to the next, it might be better for you to connect with one of our admissions folks for that too, and they might be able to guide you with some additional advice there. So just reach out, like I said, admissions@circuitstream.com. You can use that 1-800 number I shared. But the syllabus is probably a really good start for you, just to kind of see what the course offers and the different areas that we cover. So with it being a newer camp, are there alumni? I thought there was going to be more questions too, just about product management. I'm sorry, Amy. With it being a newer camp, are there alumni that would be willing to connect? Absolutely. I mean, we always have alumni in our current courses or boot camps that are willing to connect with new people that are coming through. So I don't know if we would have somebody like on deck right now because the course is new, but as soon as they are available, we'd be able to connect. But we can also connect you with students from our other courses, our other boot camps through the universities. Obviously, it's not the exact same course information, but in terms of the support that you receive, the networking opportunities that you get through the university and through us here, we can share, all of that sort of information with you as well. So, Anne Marie, just reach out to us. We can share more details there for that. And happy to connect you with an alumni from a different bootcamp. Amy, can you please share any tips for getting into APM program at LinkedIn? Would successful completion of this bootcamp give you a competitive advantage?
Yeah, I can answer the first part, and then Tyler, if you want to answer the bootcamp part, maybe that would be a good way to tag team this question. But sure. For the LinkedIn APM program, I actually wrote an entire article on this on Medium. So if you go to my Medium account, you'll see this article titled PM interview diary, how to get into the LinkedIn APM program. And so I think that would be a lot more comprehensive of an article to read. But essentially, there are several components of the APM interview process. We have a recruiter behavioral round where you'll be asked questions about sort of situations where you've handled conflict or shown leadership abilities. We have a design round where we will give you a sort of product question regarding what's your favorite product or improve this product. It won't be a LinkedIn product, so it'll be something very generic. And then we'll also ask you in a separate interview on the final round something about your past experience that could relate to a PM role. So for me, I worked with a lot of metrics, and so I got a metrics heavy interview question. If you've done sales or you did marketing or something else in the past, it'll probably be a question tailored towards your experience and how that could map to a PM role. And then Tyler, do you want to answer the bootcamp part?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, kind of what you were saying before too, just preparing yourself and doing as many different projects and doing things in advance. Similar mindset to taking a boot camp like this. It's only going to prepare you more. To give an example on the other side, like on the game development, we've had students that have taken our game development course who took something like computer science previously, had no luck breaking into the industry, had no career support, were kind of struggling a little bit. And then they took the boot camp, they get a whole bunch of career support, they get a huge network of people, they start going to game jams and connecting with a lot of other people. And then suddenly you've got this great portfolio of work to share with people. You've got this additional experience. So at the end of the day, it's definitely going to give you a competitive advantage. Taking any more education is always going to give you a competitive advantage. But boot camps in particular tackle things at a pretty advanced level pretty quickly. So that's the goal there with that. So I would say it would definitely give you a competitive advantage. Yeah, but again, just take a look at the syllabus, go to the course page there, download the syllabus, take a look through and see the different areas that we cover and see if that's kind of what you were hoping for as well. For Amy, what advice would you give to someone looking to transition into product management from a background in digital marketing and content strategy? Specifically, what skills do you believe are crucial to develop when you don't have direct product management experience?
Yeah, so this is actually more common than you think. Don't worry, not everyone comes out of college with a computer science degree and breaks into product management. We've had a lot of people transition from like business analyst or sales strategist to a PM role. And I think there are several things you can do. The first one is if you're already working at a company that has PMs, it'd be really helpful to shadow them. So I think what a lot of business or biz ops or finance people who want to transfer to PM roles at LinkedIn do is they'll usually shadow a PM at LinkedIn and sort of ask them to like take on work streams. And so anytime like if there's a PM at your company or some sort of product owner, see if there are projects that they're willing to let you help lead or help get involved with, and then you can start showing more and more of that sort of product leadership or thought leadership mindset. In terms of your resume, I would try to highlight things that you've done that might be adjacent to product, even if your role itself is not a product manager role. So let's say that you have a background in like content strategy. Something a PM would do is a PM would develop a strategy for launching like a certain feature. And so if you treat the content that you create as a feature, you know, how did you put together like the strategy for that? Like what results are you trying to achieve? What OKRs did you accomplish? And so if you say something like, you know, I was doing content strategy at this company, I started like a newsletter for, you know, X audience, and it ended up driving like 35% more traffic to our website. It ended up getting us like 20% more like revenue through X, Y, and Z funnel. You're essentially doing the job of the PM, just that newsletter is your product. And so I think I would just sort of look at my role, try to see like what I can pull out experience that's related to product management and sort of map that on your resume and just tell that narrative that like, even though you're not working in a product manager role, you have product management experience. Specifically, what skills do you believe are crucial? I think understanding, so you don't have to code, but I think you have to have some sort of understanding of technical systems. So I think Exponent has a really helpful program or something called like Grokking the System Design Interview, but it helps you understand like how you can build a website, how you can build a messaging app, how you can store and cache data. You don't have to know how to code, but these are all concepts that would be really helpful for you to know when you're working with engineers. Because if you're working with an engineering team and then they tell you, oh, it's going to take us like 2 years to build this website, if you have no technical background, then you'll just be like, oh, okay. And there's no way for you to actually, you know, verify if you're making progress as quickly as possible. And so I think technical sort of know-how, not necessarily coding experience, is really important. And then I think too, communication, like be very good at verbally communicating your thoughts, and even more importantly, like written communication. I write several documents every single day. Like I'll send out exec email comms, like I'll write strategy docs, I'll write product requirement docs. If you're not clear and concise in your writing, then it'll really slow down your work stream. Like a verbal communication is important, but more people see the work that I write than the things that I say. And so I would really focus on making sure like you're very clear when you write things out. After that, I think getting along with people is like a soft skill that's really important. I think as a product manager, like you work with engineering teams and design teams, but you have no direct authority, right? Like you're not leading like a design org or an engineering org. And a lot of it is using different types of appeals to different stakeholders. Like how can you emotionally appeal to design? How can you logically appeal to engineering? How can you convince finance that this feature is really important to build? And so sort of understanding what everyone's motivations are, and what their incentives are and what their goals are, and sort of being able to drive a narrative that will get teams to work with you on building something that you think is important. I think that's a very important skill. At the end of the day, like you're choosing projects for like engineers and designers, like you have a really big influence on their career trajectory as well. And so like they really need to believe in you to make sure that you're an effective product leader. So I would say that.
That was an amazing answer. Thank you, Amy. And 2 years to work on the website. No way.
Yeah, that's hopefully it's realistically more like 1 to 2 weeks, but also depends on what kind of website you're trying to build.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a long timeline. All right, let me pull up the next one here. This one's about course payments. Can you elaborate on the payments? For example, 6 month, we'll have extra interest on it. Cass, the best thing to do is reach out to the admissions team because I think there's different payment options depending on where you're joining, like what country you're coming from. And then within those payment options, there's a few different things there as well. Some of them might have interest, some of them don't. I don't know exactly what that breakdown looks like. So without me giving you incorrect information, just reach out to admissions@circuitstream.com and just ask that exact question. Or I can flag you and see if I can get the team to reach out to you after the event as well here. But yeah, hopefully that answers. Sorry, I don't have the specific details on that. What's the difference between UX research and product management? Maybe you can weigh on this one a little bit, Amy.
Yeah, so they're actually very different, but they do work with customers, both of them. So UX research, essentially what that is when a product manager or like a product team has an idea for a new feature, it's very expensive for you to build out a feature. And the smart thing to do is to get customer validation that people actually need this or this is actually a good feature. So when we're launching consumer-focused features like a new notification or a new design or something like on the feed, what we usually do is we work with a UXR team to interview customers and see, like, does this design make sense? Like, does this feature have enough of what you want, or does it have too much of things that you don't want? And the UXR researcher is the one leading a lot of those customer interviews. The product manager will take these insights from the interview and sort of work that into the actual feature that we're building. But I think UXR is a lot more customer focused and facing. I maybe talk to customers like once a month. And even when I do that, it's the UXR researcher who's leading that conversation. So a lot of product management work is more back end in developing the product.
Amazing. Thank you, Amy. And I'm hoping you're able to weigh in on this one a little bit too, Amy. I've seen a few employers asking for PMP certification with the PMI. I understand that this is project management, but will this also be a plus getting a job for product management?
I've seen people with the PMP certification. I don't think it's a hard requirement to get into an APM program. I don't have one, and I think I ended up fine. I would say like things like a technical boot camp or even like a product management boot camp would be a lot more applicable in terms of like hands-on practice and experience. A certification is not that helpful unless I think it's combined with experiences to supplement. Just having a CS degree isn't enough to get you an internship. Like people are usually looking for like clubs or leadership activities or projects that you've worked on to supplement like a academic concentration.
Or good boot camps. Awesome. And then it looks like the next one, somebody in our team answered, are they hiring partners? Are the hiring partners only Toronto-based companies? No, currently our hiring partners are across Canada, the US, Australia. Just more information in there, but just to sum that up, we have hiring partners like worldwide because we have courses available through universities in the US and Canada and Australia, UK, like there's support all over the place there. So hiring partners are also sourced out in all of those locations. So
Sorry, I'll do a quick plug.
Sure.
LinkedIn does provide sponsorship for Canadian citizens. So if you want to join our APM program, we do sponsor Canadian citizens as well as like international all over the world.
That's a great plug. Thank you. I have no background of any technical skills, very old school, and I can see all the focus at IT and tech companies as product management can fit only high tech companies. I can't put this one up on the screen just because we answered it already on the back end, but I just wanted to highlight this one for a second. I have no background of any technical skills, very old school. And our response from somebody in our team here, product management can be applied to both software and service industries, and it's not confined to technology companies. Product management is a versatile role found in tech and healthcare, finance, education, and much more. While it is true that roles in product management are most commonly found related to technology products, it doesn't necessarily mean that the skills can't be transferable and valuable across different sectors. And that answer, just so everyone knows, is from our director of product at Circuit Stream. That's Tamara, our director of product, that answered that one. So also a very fitting person to be answering these questions. How important is a resume tailored to a product manager role? If you have any examples for the resume. Maybe I'll let you weigh in on that one if that's okay, Amy.
So I hate to say this because it's a catch-22, but the best resume for a PM role is previous PM experience. I think these days, like that's a huge issue is like a lot of entry-level roles are requiring some sort of previous experience. I've seen these, jokes floating around online, like they want you to have 20 years of experience for an entry-level role, and that's just absolutely ridiculous. We see a lot of those job postings on LinkedIn too, so we try to take those down as soon as possible. But I think if you're looking for a PM role, like a lot of adjacent experience helps. If you can't get direct PM roles, then I think if you have experience in like software or even design or even like business analytics, like that's something that could be mapped to product. If you can do something as generic as lead a team to build something that is directly applicable product experience. And I think also like weighing in on the previous question, like product doesn't have to be limited to like technical products. Even if you're recruiting for a company that owns technical products, you can use experience from non-technical products. So like this is a terrible example, but if you run a lemonade stand, that is literally product management for selling lemonade, right? Like you're going from the whole conception of you're sourcing lemons, like you're going through the labor of like squeezing out lemon juice, and then you're ending up like on the sales and marketing funnel of like marketing your product and like selling your product. I think anything can be taken and sort of like showcased as like this is a product that you're building. So it's really about like how creative are you with your current experiences and like what roles have you done in those past experiences that you have that can be sort of tailored and showcased in a product management kind of narrative. I want to say things like if you're in college, if you like build a product at a hackathon, you build like a quick hack, like that's something you can also be a product manager of. If you build an app and you find a way to like market it or sell it yourself, anything that involves like designing something, building it, marketing, selling it, that's essentially a product funnel. So I think you can get really creative. Any experience can technically be drawn to product management.
It's awesome. And I really like that example. Actually, I'm going to steal the lemonade stand example when I'm explaining this to people, because it was it's like a good tangible way to like break it down. I love that.
Yeah. Thanks.
And then also too, just because it kind of tethers into that question and to just plug the bootcamp a little bit. The cool thing about something like a bootcamp is you do actually do work on physical projects throughout, and you build a resume or build a portfolio, sorry. So once you've completed the course, you actually have examples of projects that you've worked on, products that you've worked on, and projects around those products that you can share with people and just kind of show tangible examples of things versus, not having any of those and anything like that ready to go. So Amy, in your first year as PM, what were your biggest learning challenges, technically and professionally? I love this question.
There's too many. Okay, let me think of my top, maybe 2 or 3. I think the first one's context switching. So as a PM, like I was touching on earlier, your role is like you work with a lot of different stakeholders. And for me, I'm someone who likes to put on my headphones and just like be quiet for 6 hours and like write out a doc. I'm actually, this might be surprising because I'm talking a lot today, but I'm pretty introverted. And so I like have to like give myself like a pep talk before I like get on meetings with people, because I'd rather just be like typing away on my computer and building something. But you have a lot of meetings as a PM, and that's the nature of your job. And having to switch from like talking about design to talking about engineering to talking about legal stuff, sometimes like I'll lose track of like, oh wait, is this a design meeting or is this like an eng bug bash, or like what are we talking about? So I think during my first year, like context switching was really tough. Like you'll have 15 minutes in between meetings and you can't be productive in those 15-minute blocks. Like it takes me like an hour to like get into the zone and start writing a strategy doc. And so I was like doing my like personal work at like 9 p.m. at night, and then in the mornings I would just like stack meetings back to back. And so I think if you're smart about it, like a PM knows to like put all their meetings together in the morning, and then afternoon like carve out time to work on your documents and stuff like that. But I think for me, context switching was really hard. Second one was also professionally, like you are taking responsibility for a lot. Like as a PM, you are the point person that when something goes wrong, let's say like a feature I launched doesn't make money or something crashes or something breaks, no one's like complaining to my marketer or like to my engineering team. Like you're the person leadership goes to and like, why did this like mess up so bad? Like you need to fix it. You need to find out what went wrong. And so the nature of your job is like you're owning something, like you're taking ownership of a product line. You have to know everything about that product. And so the reason why you're supported by all these like engineering teams and marketing teams and design teams is like, at the end of the day, if someone has a question about this product, you should know everything about it so that you can answer and fight any fires that come up. I think first year out of like college, like this being like a first job for me when I was coming out of college, like it was a lot to transition to. Obviously over the years, like it's something you get better at, but at least during my first year, that was pretty emotionally taxing.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of responsibility. And as an extroverted introvert, I totally get it. I'm extroverted in my role a lot. I do a lot of these. I'm on stage with people a lot, but people are often shocked to find out that I'm actually quite introverted. My alone time, I like to sit in the dark and quiet for hours sometimes, or just listen to podcasts by myself in a corner. But amazing. Well, thank you. We've got a couple more questions, I think, here. For product managers in consulting firms that are working more on an IT delivery kind of work, then the work often involves less of road mapping, etc. How to position myself for the next role as product manager in a product-based company. I see you nodding there, Amy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because I haven't formally worked in consulting. I did do a couple of stints and stuff because I was planning on going to consulting after college. So I'm trying to see if I'm like well suited to answer this question. Working on more IT delivery work. Okay, so I think if I'm understanding this question correctly, you work more on the back end with IT teams who are delivering maybe like a service or something on the back end, and it's less like strategic planning as most. Okay, thumbs up. Cool.
That's what I'm getting to. Yeah.
I think that's just a different type of customer, right? Or stakeholder. So your customer as a product manager doesn't have to be a consumer, like someone who uses an app like LinkedIn. My customer that I serve every day is not a consumer, it's advertisers. So I build ad solutions for advertisers on LinkedIn. You could just be working with a consulting firm that, works on IT delivery services for a specific internal customer, and that's not any less merit as a product manager. You just have to sort of sell your role differently, as instead of I'm building something or strategizing something for like customers that are in the market, like I'm building IT services specifically for an internal customer. And that's equally valid for like product management experience. You just are serving a different customer. And I think that's actually directly applicable. So many people go from consulting to product management. It's like a direct pipeline. I think if you're in a consulting firm, you can actually recruit directly for a lot of product manager roles. You don't even have to go through an APM program. Like, you just recruit for a product manager role at a company, and people see consulting firms as like direct experience because you're working on like a lot of these sort of like customer projects that directly have interactions with stakeholders, and you're working with different teams. And that's just the skill set that they look for in product management. So I wouldn't worry if you're in a consulting firm, like, you're directly set up for a product management pipeline.
Yeah, it sounds like he's got a leg ahead. That's great. And then it looks like we've got one more here, and this one's for you, Amy. Someone checked out your LinkedIn profile and observed that you had hopped across different positions and companies throughout your career. How did you decide it's time to make changes?
Well, first of all, thanks for checking out my LinkedIn profile. So I think different companies, different positions, I had the luxury of sort of exploring a lot of different career paths through internships when I was in university. And my motto when it comes to sort of picking what you want to do in life is like, I don't know if Costco is a thing in Canada. It's like a warehouse where they sell a lot of food, but you get to
I was there yesterday.
You get to sample food for free. Like, you just have to do that with, like, what you want to do in life. You just go into Costco, sample everything, and then buy the thing that you actually like. It's the same with jobs. Like, you should try a little bit. That's what internships are for. Like, try a little bit of everything. And once you discover what really resonates with you, then you can sort of build that career full time. When I was in college, I was interested in a lot of different things like mobile app development, game development. I built like a bunch of VR apps and video games for like the California Cybersecurity Institute, which was fun, but it wasn't what I ended up wanting to do. I worked at like a VC company. I took on like different roles at a bunch of different tech companies. And a lot of that was just like trying different things and seeing like, would I enjoy my time here? At the end of the day, I went to LinkedIn and I really resonated with, as cheesy as this sounds, like the mission and the values of the company. I think if you want to work in tech, there's a lot of scary companies out there that are working on a lot of gray areas, but LinkedIn, we just find jobs for people. And I feel like that's not really, like, it can't get really bad, like, if you're doing that. And so I thought it was cool. I landed my first job through LinkedIn. A lot of people go on LinkedIn, land their first jobs from there. Everybody today who wants to land a job, I feel like, has a LinkedIn account. And so I think it's really cool to work on a product that all my friends know. Like today, if I'm like, oh, I did something on LinkedIn, like my mom knows what LinkedIn is. So it's like cool to sort of talk about the work that you do. I take a lot of pride in working at the company that I work at. And so I think at the end of the day, that was something that was really important for me. But I would encourage everyone here to like try a bunch of different roles, do consulting, do software development, do design, try out UXR if that's something that's interesting for you. Very, very high level meta advice, but you only have one life and you want to do what you want to, do. And if it's product management, you can try it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. Just try and sample everything.
It was quite interesting earlier when you said that LinkedIn was the number one trusted social media outlet. I never really thought about it, but if you were to ask me which one was the most trusted, I would have said LinkedIn hands down without even thinking twice about it. So it's that was just a cool stat. That was neat to hear earlier. But I think that's it for the questions. Let me just do a quick survey here. Looks like everyone shared their LinkedIn profiles in the chat as well. I didn't share mine, but if anybody wants to add me, just search Tyler Trapp and Circuit Stream, and I'll pop up. I don't think there's many Tyler Trapps working at Circuit Stream out there. I'm probably the only one. So feel free to add me as well. But huge thank you to you, Amy, for taking the time today to share all of the information with everybody. I'm sure everybody appreciated it as much as we did. I can see some emojis coming through there. Yeah. But yeah, the advice that you provided was unbelievable. It was invaluable for the audience. So thank you again for taking the time to do that. I will probably invite you back for future sessions if that's okay, because this was really fun. But
be here.
Yay. But yeah, and thank you, I guess, to Wanai for speaking as well today, and for all of the audience members for coming in and viewing this session. We're always happy to have you join us and to learn more about our courses and our partnerships, and just about the industries in general and opportunities that are out there for you. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Last plug is admissions@circuitstream.com in terms of the email if you have any questions. But otherwise, we will look forward to seeing you at our next online events. Just check out our websites to kind of see when those are posted. But thank you again, Amy. Thank you to everyone. And we hope that you have a fantastic day. So cheers. Bye, everybody.